America. However, I ask that you pardon any mess you may find. Don't mind the constant stench of death and poverty. Such a mockery of life. Just continue to walk by with heads high, closed eyes, and closed hearts. Oh, and before I forget to warn you, please ignore the riffraff across the street with their constant cries of conspiracy toward a system devised to eliminate those troublesome minorities. If you see them, then I suggest you just turn and run the other way because they can be quite a nuisance. Nonetheless, again, friends, welcome. Welcome, I say, to my America. I hope you take extreme delight in its imperialistic design, capitalism at its best. Well, that is, if you can stomach the sale of silenced children, building catastrophe out of freedom, molding men for forgotten dreams. No, 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 friends, not in my America, where we await salvation from handguns, yet embrace the lives of sanctimonious leaders, leaving me to question what's really the difference. Finding truth and innocence, but neither lasts long. Religious murders, assassinations in the name of fill in the blank with your appropriate deity, leaving speckled blood on the brows of believers, but even in Scripture, Paul was a murderer too, right? At least before his great conversion, before he turned into a man of God, even before then, he was a man of God. Just like Klansmen quoting Scripture to black men, dangling from the limbs of trees, the sad, spoiled fruit of my America, full bloom in her malignant madness with the wounds of carnage, strangling life before it emerges. This is my America, where murder and agony broadcast 24/7 on any cable provider, soliciting sex to minors through video games and MTV. This is my America. She who turns her cheek to the woes of genocide, collecting people for the sake of propaganda because Pearl Harbor made mothers cry. This is my America. The keeper of the haves and the have-nots, where the have-nots have to work too hard to have what it is they can afford, and the haves have so much never having to want, except having to want more. Man, this is my America. The mother who fears her children and willingly gives them to death, supporting habits of destruction, hustling deception through speaker boxes everywhere, capitalizing on non-resilience where people act like it's a privilege to be ghetto. And salutations like, hello, brother, have been replaced with phrases like, what up, nigga? Mindless that too many forefathers before us were nothing more than niggers in my America. Where we fight for freedom and die to live, and truth no longer exists on the lips of my America, where our souls have been bartered for valueless items and bloodthirsty merchants laugh at how we struggle to buy them, only to deny our children their tomorrows, and then they turn around and follow the broken path of our lives. This is my America. So splendid in her youth, yet naive to her own temptation, she suffers from the sins of her fathers. My America. Where star-spangled banners are the dirge of murderers. My America. Where right and wrong is equivalent to economic status. My America. The land of the free and the exploited. My America. You're welcome to come in. I did that piece because, you know, prior to the election of Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, you know, we all know that America was completely, and it still is, you know, it still is in such disarray. There are many situations that need to be fixed in our country, and I'm not saying that one man can do this. You know, I do not believe that President Barack Obama is the second coming. However, I do believe that it takes every single person, people in this room, people in all these classrooms, you know, people, you know, from the hood, people not from the hood, people from the burbs, you know, it takes every single person, you know, to help, you know, to make a difference. But I remember when I wrote that piece, and I looked at a lot of the stuff that was going on, many of the situations that were going on in our country, you know, abroad, and, you know, I was like, wow, man, this sucks. You know, so I penned this poem that you just heard. And I remember on Tuesday, as I was watching the whole inauguration, you know, ceremony, and I really did enjoy President Barack Obama's speech. However, I think I thoroughly enjoyed Reverend Joseph Lowry's prayer afterwards. I don't know, did anyone catch that?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah. I was wow, man, that's what I'm talking about here. It just instilled this whole sense of hope in me, and it made me feel proud, even more so proud, you know, to be American. So, basically what I'm trying to say, to sum all this up, is that the time for change is now. With that being said, welcome tonight, and thank you to the Technical College of the Low Country. You know, many thanks to them. support pretty much everything that K-Pop Productions puts on, all of our poetry and pancakes. We're gearing up to prepare for our concert. I'm quite sure the Technical College of the Low Country will support us in that by having representatives out. It's always important to get youngsters interested in higher education. Higher education college is not for everybody, but if you're interested in higher education, nobody should be denied the access. With that being said, this is an open mic setting. We encourage all persons, anybody in this room, if you have something to say, if you're angry, please come up to the stage and say it. If you're happy, come up to the stage and say it. If you just got a new boyfriend, come up to the stage. You got a new girlfriend, come up to the stage and say it. If you're in love, come up to the stage and say it. So, and I want everybody to loosen up. This is anybody. Raise your hand if you've been to Poetry and Pancakes before. Everybody at Poetry and Pancakes knows that when you come to Poetry and Pancakes, you're family. So, when you're here, you're family. If you see me looking at you and I just look eye at you, that's right, this is when I look eye at you. If you see me do that, or you see me bust a smile, or you see me, hey, what's up, your man? Doing, man? What's up, girls? How you doing? Don't feel ashamed. Everybody, just participate. We're all family here. The other thing too, I know this is to celebrate this event is to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. However, this would not feel like home if I did not bring some of the traditions from Poetry and Pancakes into this setting tonight. And everybody who knows, when you come to the stage, if you're brand new to the stage, or brand new to the microphone, how you doing? How you doing? If you're brand new to the stage, instead of saying what we would normally say at Poetry and Pancakes, we're just going to just say, hello. Thank you. Let me grab the assignment sheet. Hold on a second. Also, hey, everybody feel free to sign in on this form. If anyone has something to eat, please go next door and pick up some muffins or some cookies. Let me move this out the way. Like this. Hey, coming up to the stage, I want everybody to give a round of applause to Brother Jose Garcia. Yeah, okay. I think Jose's new. Jose has never been to Poetry and Pancakes.
All right.
So at the count of 1, 2, 3, I'm just going to say hello. 1, 2, 3.
All right. So we're celebrating Martin Luther King Week, right? But being in this area, there's not a lot of Latinos, so I wanted to share a piece that my friend wrote. It's not my piece, but I felt it was appropriate, and I'm going to cut out a lot of pieces in it. So just pay a lot of attention because it's kind of detailed. It's called The Poverty of Philosophy. And it goes like this. Most of my Latino and black people who are struggling to get food, clothes, and shelter in the hood are so concerned with that philosophizing about freedom and socialist democracy is usually, unfortunately, beyond their rationale. They don't realize that America can exist without separating them from their identity. Because if we had some sense of who we really are, there's no way that we allow this country to push its genocidal consensus on our homelands. This ignorance exists, but it can be destroyed. People talk about change and working within the system to achieve that. The problem with always being a conformist is that when you try to change the system from within, it is not you who changes the system, it is the system that would eventually change you. There is usually nothing wrong with compromise in a situation, but compromising yourself in a situation is another story completely. And I've seen this happen long enough in the few years that I've been alive to know that it is a serious problem. If you didn't know, Latino America, also known as Latin America, is a huge colony of countries whose presidents are cowards in the face of economic imperialism. You see, third world